The Raptors are eliminated. We got a lot to talk about today, man. But before I get to that, I'm going to start by talking about the games that happened on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure it was. Yes, Wednesday. So, I was going to make a video yesterday, but I didn't really watch the games, and they weren't really that interesting, so I was like, you know what? Nah. Like, I mean, the Warriors-Nuggets one was kind of interesting, but I didn't even watch it, so I didn't really feel like I could have that much input on it, so that's why I didn't have a video yesterday. But, we had a good amount of stuff happen today, or I guess now by the time I'm uploading this video, the day before. Anyways, we had a good amount of stuff happening on Thursday, and I'm here to talk about it. But let me start by just quickly going over what happened Wednesday. First of all, we had two 3v6 matchups. We had Bucks Bulls, Warriors, Nuggets. And for the Bucks Bulls game, this whole series in general, I knew from the beginning Bucks were gonna win. I had Bucks in 4, but the Bulls did get a game because DeRozan dropped 40. I'm pretty sure I've already talked about this before. Bucks won because they're a better team. And Chris Middleton is out. He's questionable for the second round, and that could affect how the Bucks do. Maybe the Celtics might have an opportunity to beat the Bucks now that one of their best scorers is out. But I still think the Bucks do have a good opportunity to beat the Celtics. But this is, no matter what, this is going to be a great series. But I'm not here to talk about Bucks Celtics. That's going to come in my second round preview, which is probably going to come in a few days depending on when the first second round matchup is. And honestly, it might be today, or the day that I'm uploading this, because the Bucks moved on, the Celtics moved on, so hypothetically they could play today. But yeah, pretty much the Bucks are a better team than the Bulls, but at least the Bulls made the playoffs for the first time in a few years, so that's a plus. Where do the Bulls go from here? Just continue with doing what you're doing, and maybe add a bit more defense, because that was definitely a problem this year. Add more consistent big men, especially if you could get a really good defensive big man. Like, I know he's not extremely consistent, but if you could get Nerlens Noel, I think honestly that would be a really good pickup. Or even if you could trade, if I were the Bulls, in my opinion, I would trade Vucevic for a good defensive big and a decent offensive big, because they need defense, and they need, if you could trade Vucevic for some defensive guys and maybe one offensive like big man to take his spot pretty much, I think that would be a great deal for the Bulls. But for now, they're out. We're gonna see what they do in the offseason. Hopefully they make some moves, because the way this team is right now, I don't see them making it farther than the second round. Moving on, or maybe in the first round, I really don't know. It's their first playoff experience, so you never know what's gonna happen in the future. But yeah, moving on, we also got the Warriors versus the Nuggets. In this game, in this series, there were some close games near the end, but it was really just Jokic is alone. Michael Porter Jr. is in there, Jamal Murray's in there, and he can't do it all by himself. Monte Morris did help a bit. Will Barton did help a bit. He had some clutch shots, I think, and others, Aaron Gordon too. Like, these guys did play well, the supporting cast, but at the end of the day, supporting cast is nothing without your stars. And when you only have one star, that's not enough. Even if it's Nikola Jokic, that's not enough to get you past the first round. So, and of course, they're going against this Warriors team, which is ridiculous. You got the 3 splash triplets over there with Curry, Clay, and Poole. You also got Draymond, who could have been a defensive player of the year, not gonna lie. You got a lot of pieces on this team. They know what they're doing. Steve Kerr, one of the best coaches in the league. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is this Warriors team is run very well. Their offense is great. Their defense is great. And they deserve to win this series because they're a better team than the Nuggets. What I say for the Nuggets really is just wait until next year when Jamal Murray comes back, when Michael Porter Jr. comes back. I haven't seen either of those guys play in such a long time, so when they come back, hopefully the Nuggets can be back to actually contending, and maybe they can win a ring. You never know, because Jokic is in his prime. Jamal Murray is soon gonna hit his prime. Michael Porter Jr. is still getting better. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this team could be really good. And although the injuries might affect the way Jamal and Michael play, I just said Jamal and Michael, the way they play, the injuries might affect their play and how good they're playing, but I still think they're gonna be good, because Clay came back and he's not as good as he was before, but he's still doing really good, contributing to that Warriors team. So I think those two can do the same. Moving on to the games that happened today, and of course we got the big one. At first, let me just go through what I was thinking as I was watching this. First quarter, we're doing decent, keeping it kind of close. It's fine, right? Second quarter, we actually take the lead a bit. We're actually doing really good. At the end of the second quarter, we fumble a bit though, and they take the lead back, but we still did really good in the second quarter. Siakam's making his shots, Trent making his shots, Boucher and Thad Young doing great off the bench, and everything's great, right? The third quarter, it's 70-67 for the Sixers. They go on a 17-0 run, and just like that, the game is over. You could even say a 22-3 run. As I was watching this, I was like, what just happened? And pretty much the Raptors their shots weren't going down. Tyrese caught fire, James Harden caught fire, Embiid was going off, and they put up a really good fight. I gotta say, I'm proud of this Raptors team, especially considering how young they are, how they were expected to do. I didn't expect them to go this far, so you know, I'm proud of the Raptors team. I'm proud of this Raptors team, but I actually wish that they came back to 3-0. Of course, it'd be so amazing if they came back from a 3-0 lead. That would be so great, but they didn't, and I guess that's just too bad. We can wait until next year. Chu is gonna get better. Hopefully he can work a bit on his defense, polish his offensive game a bit more. Maybe Trent's good. He just has to just improve, just get better as a player, just individually. And then he's already good though. There's not a specific part of his game that I see him completely working on. He's got defense, he's got scoring, and that's what we get from him. That's what we really need from him, and I'll take that. And then other than that, I guess OG could be more aggressive. Scotty, of course, he's still a rookie. We didn't even have Van Vliet last 2 games. So at the end of the day, the Raptors put up a good fight, and I'm happy with the way they did. And if you always think about it, if Achua made those 2 free throws, it would be a 3-3 series right now, and we go into Game 7. But sadly, that's not how it worked out, and the Raptors are out. But congrats to the Sixers. Good job to everybody in the Sixers except Joel Embiid. No, I don't want to talk about it. No, Joel Embiid, no. Nah, but really though, it's some of the stuff he was doing was a bit disrespectful, and yes, the Raptors fans were being disrespectful as well, but that was because he disrespected the Raptors fans in the first place. And I'm saying the Raptors fans because I don't want to sound like a toxic Raptors fan by saying, oh, he disrespected us in the first place, so we have to fight back. No, I'm gonna try and be as non-toxic as I can. I'm just gonna say, Embiid, you did it. You made it past the Raptors. Okay? Just wait till next time. Wait till next time. We'll come back with more fight, and at the end of the day, it is just basketball. So you might feel a bit mad when the first time you see them lose, but then eventually you're like, it's just basketball. But it still really is. It still really matters. It's still people fight. People put their everything into this game, and it's so you can't say it's just basketball. But at the end of the day, it is just basketball. And as fans, we gotta, as Kenny for real says, just enjoy basketball. And Embiid played a good series. Harden didn't have the best series, but he still played decent. And yeah, that's a real game that I really watched the most of. And it was a blowout, so there's not much interesting to say about that, except Siakam was doing really good. He deserves to be an All-NBA player. Embiid deserves to be an NBA, and I will say Embiid deserves to be in MVP conversations. Does he deserve to be MVP? In my opinion, no. He's the one guy I did single out. And after the series, do I still single him out? Not as much as I did before, but still probably yes. It's really a two-man race for me right now between Jokic and Giannis, and my pick is Giannis, as you guys know, as I said in my award prediction video that you guys hopefully watched. If you didn't watch it, I might put a card up, I might not, who knows. Anyways, let me just talk about the next thing. Suns versus Pelicans. I had hope that the Pelicans might come back in this series and win it, because it was 2-2, and I was thinking, oh, the Pelicans are going to beat the 1 seed, Jose Alvarado, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. They're going to be a Cinderella story. And then they lost in 6. But Jose Alvarado played great defense on Chris Paul, got his first little playoff experience. Same for Brandon Ingram. This is a very young team, just like the Raptors. This situation, I'd say, is very similar to the Raptors situation, except the Raptors situation was, okay, I wouldn't say. You know what I could say about the Raptors? I know I'm supposed to be done talking about the Raptors. And same for the Pelicans too. For the Raptors and Pelicans, they both each had more playoff wins this year than the Nets. So I can say that. So if you're a Nets fan out there, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man, but a team with Jose Alvarado and a team that's up in Canada. Okay, let me stop. No disrespect to Canada. I live in Canada. I can't disrespect Canada like that. The Raptors and the Pelicans, a team that started 1-15, and a team that was projected to be out of the play-in by me and some other people. Those teams had more playoff wins than the projected champions this year, the Brooklyn Nets. So Brooklyn fans, just let that sink in. And same for all the other fans out there, whatever team you're a fan of. But yeah, the Pelicans played a great series. Brandon Ingram, he went off. He's solidified himself as a certified star. He was dying down a bit. He was an all-star like 2 years ago, but the hype died down a bit on him, and now it's probably going to be back up next year, especially when Zion comes back. Him and Zion could be a little duo, and CJ is their veteran guy. Valanciunas, you can't forget about him. He played great. I was choosing between what I was going to say, amazing or great, and I ended up saying mate. But my point is, the Pelicans played a great series. This team's got potential. Hopefully they can be better next year. The teams I'm looking for to be better next year, of course, the Raptors, the Pelicans, the Nuggets, probably the Clippers, depending on if Kawhi comes back. And they also got some young players. Like, there's a few teams that I expect to be better next year based on injuries, young players, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I can't wait for that, man. That's why I can't wait for next year when all those guys come back. But then again, there's probably going to be like 3 season-ending injuries in the first week, so you know, I can't get my hopes too high. Moving on. There's not much else I have to say about this Pelicans Sun series except Jose Alvarado. I gotta congratulate him. He played great defense on Chris Paul, but at the end of the day, it's the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker came back and he was amazing. So of course the Suns won it, and they moved on to the next round to face the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, the Dallas Mavericks beat the Utah Jazz in 6 games. Luka played amazing, and the last play I saw it, like, I didn't really watch this game. All I saw was like the first 1 minute and like the last 10 seconds. So, you know, but the last play, Bojan Bogdanovic missed a 3 to win the game, and it's so sad that this has happened twice in the past 3 years for Donovan, where he gets eliminated on a missed 3. game, like it could have been. First, Mike Conley missed a game-winning 3 in 2020 against the Nuggets first round, and they get beaten in 7 after blowing a 3-1 lead. And then this year, Bojan missed a possible game-winning 3 that could have put them ahead in the series. And I feel so bad for Donovan Mitchell. I just want him to win. And I'm pretty sure this is now, it's official that this little duo thing in Utah with Donovan and Rudy, it's over, man. It's over. If the Jazz don't change anything this offseason, it's either they trade one of the big stars or they get perimeter defenders. And I'm hoping, honestly, it could be one or the other. I think if I were them, I'd trade Mike Conley for a slightly younger, but still experienced veteran point guard, and then also maybe some wing defenders who could help out. Wing defenders would really help this team because that would make them not rely on Rudy so much. Even if they traded Rudy for a decent post center, like for example, if they were somehow able to trade, this is just a random trade that I thought of in my head, maybe like Rudy to the Hawks for like Clint Capella and Cam Reddish and Kevin Knox or something like that. They wouldn't trade DeAndre Hunter, but yeah, something like that, or I don't even know, something similar to that where they get some defenders back. But are they really defenders though? My point is, the Jazz could trade Rudy for a decent center and some defenders, or they could trade Donovan and kind of like reform their whole team, or clear up some money to sign somebody big in free agency to pair up with Donovan. Who knows what they're gonna do, but whatever they do, they gotta make some changes because they can't just stay in mediocrity for the whole of Donovan's prime. Because Donovan's entering his prime. Soon he's gonna be the best he can be, and you don't want to waste that prime on a bad team or mediocre team. Because you don't want to end up like Dave. The situation with Dave in Portland right now is ridiculous, and you don't want to end up like that. Actually, speaking of that, the Portland Trailblazers, other than the Raptors, the Portland Trailblazers are the team I'm most interested to see what they're going to do this year. The only reason the Raptors are higher is because I'm a Raptors fan, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do, how they're going to get players around Dame to help them win. I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe they sound like Bradley Beal or something. I don't know, but yeah, something's going to change in Portland. But we're not talking about Portland. They didn't make the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. The Jazz, something's got to happen in Utah, and it's got to happen fast, because what they got right now is not working at all. So yeah, and that's, oh, I also got the Mavericks. Congrats to you guys. You guys played a great series. Luka even missed some games, and Jalen Brunson came in the clutch. Dinwiddie came in the clutch. Kleba came in the clutch. Bertans came in the clutch. All these guys in your team were able to step up when Luka was out. And then when he came back, those guys continued playing at the same level they were playing at before. And from then on, the series was done. The Jazz could not keep up. And that is what I love about this team. Even though they don't have a secondary quote-unquote star, their supporting cast is so good that when their best top 10 NBA player is out, the rest of the team can step up and still win games against some of the best teams in the NBA. That's amazing, and I love that about this team. I didn't believe that this team was going to make it to the second round. I thought they'd be a first round exit because they traded Porzingis. I was completely wrong. Jalen Brunson was there. Dinwiddie was there. Kleba was there. Bertans was there. All these guys were there to help them win games, and that is why the Mavericks won this series. They had extra guys who could help them win games, who they could depend on, and it also had it had a lot to do with Rudy not being able to leave the paint, because if he did, then there would be just easy layups every single time, and then that would cause wide open threes. So that's another way that the Jazz lost the series. But yeah, Jazz got to make some big changes, and congrats to Dallas, because you guys played amazing, man. You surprised me, and I don't know how it's gonna go against the Suns, but I want to see you guys do something big, because Luka is not one of my favorite players, but of course you gotta love Luka. So I want to see what Luka can do. If he can make the conference finals and beat the first seed, that would be amazing. But I'm going to talk about the second round in my next, after the end of the first round. So the only series left is the 2-7 in the West, which is Grizzlies Timberwolves, and I'm pretty sure the game 6 for that is tomorrow. And if the Grizzlies win, which is what I'm projecting to happen, that series will be over, and I will make my second round predictions video sometime this weekend. But if it doesn't happen that way, then I guess my second round predictions video probably still coming out sometime this weekend, because the second round in the East is probably going to start before. Anyways, I've been talking too long. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, comment all the tips, tricks, or topics you have me to talk about. A lot of these teams now entering their off season, but for the teams that are still in it, I'm pretty confident that just about every team except maybe 2 could win a championship this year. Or no, except out of the ones that have moved on so far, all the teams except 1 could win a championship this year. And even that one that I'm singling out, they could even win a championship. You never know. But I'm just ready to see what happens, man. I'm ready to see what happens. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.